It's been a big couple of days for Pixel fans as we've had arguably the biggest leak in terms of the 2023 lineup, including the Pixel 8, 8 Pro, the upcoming Pixel Fold, and the Pixel 7a. So let's not waste any more time and get into all of the info. If you've been living under a rock for the past few days, welcome back. Sunlight on your skin is very nice, isn't it? I can attest to that as living here in dreary England. We have had a huge array of leaks for Google's 2023 lineup, and you might be really interested in specific devices, so use the chapters to skip to where you want to find out info. Let's start though with the interesting news first. Our first look at the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro has been offered by OnLeaks, the prolific leaker, and we're expecting some interesting hardware changes courtesy of his CAD-based renders, including a new tweak to the camera bar of that Pro model. The Pixel 8 though, this is going back to Google's small flagship roots. Yes, you heard me correctly, the Pixel 8 is said to come with a flat 6.2 inch screen, which is actually slightly smaller than the 6.3 inch display of the Pixel 7. You can also see from the bezel reduction that this could be more akin to how the Pixel 5 handled its own bezels, although it won't be the same size, although it does remain to be seen if this will be truly compact compared to devices of yesteryear, a complaint that has grown in the Team Pixel fanbase over the past few years. The phone itself is 150.5 by 70.8 by 8.9 millimeters, or 5.1 millimeters shorter, 2.4 millimeters narrower, and 0.2 millimeters thinner than the Pixel 7, so not unnoticeable changes. That would also make the Pixel 8 smaller overall than the Pixel 6a, which is Google's current compact device, which in my opinion is almost the perfect size. It does so while being 1.7 millimeters shorter and 1 millimeter narrower than the 2022 A series device. While of course that is undoubtedly good news that we're getting a slightly smaller Pixel 8, there is a caveat here, as on the rear we have a camera pill that's larger but much closer to the top and bottom of that camera bar than we see today. Next to it is the rear facing microphone and flash, but it doesn't look like we're getting a periscope zoom lens on the smaller model this time around, which might be annoying, and it's a little bit disappointing to see not much parity between this, but this must be a cost-cutting measure once again. Now when we start to look at the Pixel 8 Pro, the big dog, it's where the major changes are coming this year. For one, the Pixel 8 Pro at least appears to have finally ditched its curved display. The display renders lack the signature curve that we've seen on Google's past two Pro flagship releases, but there's certainly still some room for what appear to be very, very slight curves along the very edges of the screen. Either way, it's a major improvement for anyone that finds curved screens frustrating, and that comes with probably most curved displays out there. At the very least though, this might mean we might get better and cheaper screen protector options right at launch later this year. The display also has slightly smaller bezels than the Pixel 7 Pro, although that could simply be these CAD-based renders giving us a false impression. That said, what's interesting here though is like the Pixel 8 versus the Pixel 7, it does have slightly smaller dimensions. The proposed dimensions of the Pixel 8 Pro come in at 162.6mm by 76.5 by 8.7mm. That's slightly smaller than the 162.9 by 76.6 and 8.9mm of the Pixel 7 Pro, which you can pick up today. A display size of around 6.7 inches is mentioned, which despite those dimension shavings is the same size as the 6.7 inch Pixel 7 Pro screen. Google looks to be tweaking the camera bar on the Pro model with some interesting changes this year. What's most intriguing though is the addition of a new, or at least what looks to be a new sensor on the Google Pixel 8 Pro's camera bar this time around. The phone has the same triple camera array as the Pixel 6 Pro and the 7 Pro, although this time with all these three sensors, they're now grouped together in the same sizable camera cutout on that camera bar itself, which of course will likely be covered in glass for protection. Off to the right side though, there's a fourth sensor here that we're not 100% certain what it could be. Just what this sensor will do at this moment is unclear. It could be as simple as a better autofocus system, something like what Samsung offers on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. A macro or even a depth sensor could be options, as many of the phones do offer these today, or it could be something more advanced. One possibility could be LiDAR, which would make sense given Google's augmented reality prowess. Plus, it could help improve depth effects more than a depth sensor in all kinds of lighting conditions, much like the iPhone does with its own LiDAR sensor on the camera systems over there on iOS. Of course, these designs look like nice iterations, but they are barely consistent consistent given the previous generation's design languages. Of course, we are expecting both of these handsets to debut in late 2023 and likely be powered by the Tensor G3 processor. We're obviously, of course, really excited to see more from this duo, so stay tuned, we will share information if we hear more. But these are not the only devices to get some airtime over the past couple of days, so let's get into these ones. Naturally, we know that Google has some major smartphone launches just around the corner, with announcements expected at I/O in May, which we will be at in person. According to some new information, it sounds very much like the Google Pixel Fold or Foldable and Pixel 7a release dates will be in June, as some other details have also come to light about this duo. Let's talk about the foldable first though, because while this folding phone was allegedly spotted in a subway car in recent weeks, it could be coming sooner than you might have expected. According to a new leaked retail listing from WinFuture's Roland Quant that we have seen here at 9 to 5 Google, it will indeed be called the Google Pixel Fold and is set to launch in mid-June. The retail listings also indicate the Pixel Fold will be available in two colours, a carbon colour that's likely going to be a shade of black or grey, as well as a porcelain option, which is likely a white or slightly off-white colour. I'm thinking something akin to the Pixel tablet renders that we've already seen, those official ones. We've also heard that Google is planning official cases for the Fold in haze mid-tone, porcelain and sky colour options. It also appears that the Pixel Fold will be available solely in a 256GB storage variant, which is better than the 128GB base we see from other Pixel models, but it's not amazing, or at least that's the smallest option available based upon the retail listings that have been shared. We have also spotted though a 512GB variant, but only in the carbon colorway, so we have to say it's a little bit confusing at this stage. We would say at least expect 256GB of storage across the board. It is expected though to be coming powered by the Tensor G2 processor and not the latest or the next generation G3 processor. As for the Pixel 7a, it's appeared in a few places at this point in time. Most notably, recently a Vietnamese tech blog shared hands-on images of a pre-release or pre-production model, and since then we've seen listings for a carbon, cotton and Arctic blue colour of these devices. Roland Quant of WinFuture has also mentioned a possible jade colour coming with this particular 7a device, but we've not seen that option at all. We are, however, pretty sure that this could be a jade case colour, which is also going to be sold alongside Arctic blue, carbon and cotton white options for the mid-ranger. The listing shows 128GB of storage as the only variant of the 7a, which would be par for the course based upon previous A series devices. The Pixel 7a will be released alongside a new blue variant of the Pixel Buds A series, which will also be released on the same day as that smartphone, and all of these devices are set to launch in mid-June too, which is well ahead of the schedule compared to Google's I/O's previous launches in 2022, where the Pixel 6a arrived in July after being announced at the annual developer conference. Naturally, I've thrown a hell of a lot of information for you there, but hopefully that gives you an insight of what is coming from four upcoming Google Pixel devices, smartphones. We were likely going to see some more hardware from the Nest lineup and whatnot later down the line as well, but this is just the smartphone hardware that's coming this year. I want to ask you though, which handset catches your eye? I've got to say I'm personally a sucker for the A series, but a flat screen Pixel 8 Pro could be the real big win for 2023, alongside that first generation foldable. No matter how you spin this, we're in for a big year from Google's smartphone lineups, and we can't wait to learn more, so stay tuned for more information on all of the hardware as we learn it here at 9 to 5 Google. But until next time, this is Damien. Thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.